Okay, I've had this lovely little engine now for about 5 years. Never had no trouble with it. He didn't like start any, well, not, he started every time, but he didn't like adjusting. You had to play with the choke to keep him going until he was warm. But I got used to him, he was magic. And then one day I was down the beach and somebody's had the lid off and they turned every little screw, they've ordered all the settings on it, and I've never had it running right since. I had half a dozen goes in a mate's garage, well, in a mate's garden, never got around to doing it. But now I've come home and I've got all the tools. I've done all my van for this year. She's sat out there. I've now decided to have goes at this little engine. So I've run her up and I discovered that on choke I can keep her running like a dream. So I've come in here, and as I say, ever since I've had this little engine, the first thing that was wrong with this little engine, there's the float. And the first thing that was wrong with it, when I got it, it was like new, and that pin that goes in the float was too tight and the float wasn't working right. So whether that was affecting how the carburetor was tested, I don't know. But now I've took the carburetor to bits. I don't know if you can see them. I know all the jets are clean because I blasted them through the other month with a power blaster. Now what I'm going to do, when this little float, let me get something to point with, when this little float is in the thing, I've lost the bloody little float pin now. I'll find it in a minute. It comes up and turns, it hits this little thing here, I don't know if you can see it, that rests on the top of here, and it shuts the fuel off. Well, obviously it's been shutting off too early and she's been running great on choke, but she won't run without choke. So what I've done, the carburetor, it will take 2 minutes to get this carburetor on and off. So what I've done, I've had the very fine file there, and I filed across here and took that down. And the thickness, I did take a reading. As I say, I can't hold it, but it's horrible as well because the lens comes out in the wrong place on the camera. The reading across the depth of that square bit there where it hits the thing was about 14 mil. So I just filed it down. When I say mil, I'm talking about this. It was about there. Now I've just filed it down and it is now about there. So it doesn't seem much, but at that angle on that float, it should lower the level or higher the level quite a bit. And this, I don't know if you know, they've got what I call a feather float, a feather shaft. The top of that pin actually is on a spring. It goes in and out soft. Anyway, I filed it down. Let me put it back together and run her and see what she's running like. Well, there you go. These little things are so basic. It takes all of one screwdriver and one spanner to put them back together. A couple of seconds. Okay, let me put it back on the motor and we'll see what she's going to go like. Well, there she is. Quick 5 minutes and she's back together. The hardest part is getting that nut there on to spin it up. Turning it up's easy. What I do now, I leave the fuel on for a bit and let it drain, so I definitely know there's enough in the float. So there's no rush. In a minute I'll see if I can leave the camera so you can see what's happening, and I'll start her. Well, let's hit the fuel strip down. I can't get a better angle. We'll see how she goes. Can you try that again? Without choke. Now with choke. Try, make sure we get her warm. Okay, so it looks like we've got to strip her down again and give her a little bit more fuel. She started that time again, but still not without choke. Well, she definitely seemed to run better after cutting that last lot. So this time now I took her down to about there. So I think she'll either overflood all the time now, which I can sort with the screw. Or, well, I don't mind if she runs a bit heavy, because she's a fantastic engine, she's so reliable. Let's put her back in and see how she goes now. Okay, put her back together for the second time, and we'll see what she can do right now. Try setting the screws again. Turn the screw right in. Can't choke. And nearly there. Try the screw out one turn. One turn, because it's only a matter of balancing, it's a balancing act. It's all a matter of balancing acts with these screws. Well, you can see what I'm getting. I just got to keep playing with it. It's a balancing act with the screws and the float. Well, I was having a nice time out here playing with this engine. Listen to it. The neighbours for you. Low life. Never mind, I got the engine running better. It's just a matter of tweaking with it now. Well, I've got her running, but it's a little bit 50-50 if I slow the throttle. Take the revs down low when she wants to cut out. So I could think about that now for a bit, but I got her running steady. Still not 100%, but at least it's reliable. It can go on all day like that. Here she is running with the lid on. like full throttle now, so slow to pick up. Like a fucking 20 than a fucking 2.5. End off. I think the only way to get that running smooth now is a new carburetor, but it's good enough and reliable enough for what I want. At that speed my boat will be flying along. So when does this lesson?